Today we are going to be doing a read aloud with the book I Talk Like a River. It is by Jordan Scott. So let's get started. We're going to do a picture walk through this story. I noticed that there are pictures of items that you would see when you first wake up. I see a little boy looking out the window, and I noticed that it is kind of pinkish outside, so that makes me think that it's either morning time or in the evening, so I'll have to keep reading to figure out which one it is. I see the moon, which makes me think that maybe it's nighttime, but I'm going to keep reading to find out. So I see a little boy, and it looks like he's either getting dressed or getting undressed for bed, and he's brushing his teeth. And I see this word right here. It says oatmeal. And normally people eat oatmeal in the morning. So that makes me think that these clues I've been seeing has been telling me that it's early in the morning and he's actually getting up and getting ready for his day. I see what looks like a classroom, which makes me think that this young boy is in class. And these pictures are kind of dark, so maybe that makes me think that he might not be in the best of moods. He might be feeling a little down or a little scared for some reason. This is an interesting story, or an interesting picture. I see a moon and I see the crow, which I saw on a few pages back, and I'm guessing this is our little boy who this story is about. See a lot of different pictures that could be the same person. If I squint my eyes and kind of turn my head a little bit, they all look like they could be the same person, which is really interesting. I see a little boy, and it looks like he is riding in a truck with a man, and I'm guessing that that's his dad. And I see on this page right here, I see the word dad, which makes me think that I'm right. And then I see on the bank of this big river, I see a boy and his dad. And on this story, I see the sun maybe going down behind the trees, which tells me that this is towards the end of the day. And I see the little boy and his dad again. And this picture makes me feel like the little boy is sad. He's sitting and he's kind of looking out in the distance, and I see his dad in the background, but they're not really together. They're not talking. He's just sitting. And the look of the page just seems kind of somber to me. The colors are dark, kind of muted, makes me think he's sad. And in this story, I see the little boy and his dad get closer, and maybe they're sharing a word together. Dad's pointing off in the distance. Maybe he's trying to show something to his son. And in these pictures, I see this little boy and I see just his eyes. And at first, it seems like he's looking out at something. And then we see all these pictures of what looks like water. And then I see the little boy closing his eyes. And that makes me think that he's thinking. I can feel in my brain, I can feel him thinking too. This picture gives me a lot of emotions. It makes me feel a lot of things. I feel like this little boy is sad. Maybe he's going through something, and I want to know what he's going through. This is just a really pretty picture of what I think is a river. I see the word river on this page, and I'm guessing that this is the reflections from the water. In this picture, it's the same river, and I see the little boy. Maybe he's out swimming or walking in the river. And this is another picture of him swimming in that same river. And this picture is different. This picture is different to me because of the water. I notice that the water is no longer moving and the little boy isn't having to swim as hard. He is just kind of coasting through the smooth water. And that makes me wonder, what are they trying to tell us in this picture? What's really happening in this story right now? And in this picture, I see the little boy getting dressed and I see him back in school. And I see him at the front of the room, whereas in the other pictures, I saw him in the back. So I'm wondering if maybe something happened with his dad and now he's up in the front of the room. And I'm wondering what happened. And this is the end of the story. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the very beginning and we're going to start reading this story. And we're going to find out what's going on with this little boy and why he might seem so sad. feel like I'm missing a page. I am missing a page. Why is it doing that? There we go. I wake up each morning with the sounds of words all around me. P for the pine tree outside my bedroom window. C for the crow in its branches. There's that crow I saw on another page. He might be important. M for the moon fading in the morning sky. I wake up each morning with the sounds of words all around me, and I can't say them all. The P in pine tree grows roots inside my mouth and tangles my tongue. The C is for a crow that sticks in the back of my throat. The M in my moon dusts my lips with a magic that makes me only mumble. I wake up in the morning with these word sounds stuck in my mouth. I struggled with that sentence, so I think I'm going to read it one more time to make sure I know what it meant. I wake up in the morning with these word sounds stuck in my mouth. So, based on what I read on the previous page and that little paragraph, I think that this young man, I think he has trouble talking. And sometimes the words that come easily to some people might not come so easily to him. It goes on to say, I stay quiet as a stone. I eat my oatmeal without a peep. I get ready for the day without a word. See, I'm starting to see that he doesn't talk very much. At school, I hide in the back of class. I hope I don't have to talk. When my teacher asks me a question, all my classmates turn and look. How does that make you feel? When you're in class and the teacher calls on you and everybody turns and stares at you, does that make you uncomfortable or does it make you feel good? To me, it makes me kind of uncomfortable. I don't like when everyone stares at me. It makes me kind of nervous. They don't see a pine tree sticking out from my lips instead of a tongue. They don't hear a crow, caw, caw, from inside my throat. They don't hide their eyes from the moonlight that shines from my open mouth. All they hear is how I don't talk like them. All they see is how strange my face looks and that I can't hide how scared I am. My mouth isn't working. It's full with words of the morning. Mornings are always hard, but this one's especially tough. I'm more stuck than ever. My teacher says we all have to talk about our favorite place in the world. Today is my turn, but my mouth just isn't working, and I want to go home. Sometimes when I'm having a really hard day at work or at school, I just want to go home too. So I understand how this little boy feels. My dad picks me up from school. It's just a bad speech day, he says. Let's go somewhere quiet. My dad takes me to the river. We walk along the shore looking for colorful rocks and water bugs. It feels good to be quiet and alone with my dad, but I can't stop thinking about my bad speech day. All those eyes watching my lips twist and curl, all those mouths giggling and laughing. I feel a storm in my belly. My eyes fill with rain. So when we did our picture walk, I felt like this little boy was sad, and I think that I was right. I think we were all right. I could tell by the colors in this story. They're very dark. They don't look like he's having a good day. He says he feels a storm in his belly, and I can see that reflecting in the clouds. My dad sees I am sad and pulls me close. He points to the river and says, "See how that water moves? That's how you speak." I look at the water, bubbling, churning, whirling and crashing. So in this picture, I thought that he was thinking, but now that I read it, I think that he wasn't thinking. I think he was closing his eyes so he could really listen. I think he was listening to the water and how it sounds when it moves. My dad says I talk like a river. This is what I like to remember. To help stop myself from crying, I talk like a river. Or from not wanting to speak at all, I talk like a river. When the words around me are hard to say, I think of the proud river, whirling, bubbling, churning and crashing. And I also think of the calm river beyond the rapids, where the water is smooth and glistening. This is how my mouth moves. This is how I speak. Even the river stutters like I do. So in these last 2 pages, this boy, he goes through a transformation. He realizes that just like the river, he whirls and he churns and sometimes he struggles, but once he gets past that, it's all smooth and calm. And despite his stuttering, he can make it. And let's see if he does. I wake up in the morning with the sounds of words all around me. I go to school and tell the class about my favorite place in the world. I talk about the river, and I talk like a river. So in that last page, and I talk like a river, he made it through his speech. He might have stuttered and he might have struggled, but just like the river, he made it through. He made it through all the way to the end, just like we did.